Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome back to another episode of our Gems of War Let's Play series. Today, it is a new event, as it is every Monday on Reset Day, so we have quite a few things we need to be doing. But first, before we do, as you can see, we have a lot of kingdoms unlocked, and now we only need the 26th, the last kingdom unlocked. So there we go. Now we own all 26 of the current kingdoms within the game, and now we have every single banner as well. And there we go, 100% all 26 of the kingdoms are currently on the PC mobile version of the game. So what do we do with our gold now? Now we want to try to focus on getting every single kingdom up to level 3. We do this simply by clicking on a kingdom and then go to kingdom, and then you can start leveling it. This will increase their tribute chance, which increases the chance that we'll get this reward right here. And it will also give us more gem masteries, which will help us get mana surges on our 3 pairs, which just give us double the mana. So let's go now and get this up to level 3. The reason we only do these up to level 3 first is, as you can see, they start increasing in cost. The first one was 500, now it's 1,000, and it just keeps going up more and more every single time you click this button. And 3 or 4 is normally the best spot to stop. Normally I just go to 3, so we'll do this there. And one thing that we do want to do after we get to level 3 is start doing all the magic ones up to level 10. Every single kingdom gives a bonus stat once it reaches level 10, and we want to focus down all the magic first and then all the attack. All of the magic kingdoms are things like Karkaroth, Zolkari, Darkstone, and Blighted Lands, and all of the attack are Blackhawk, Wild Plains, Pride Lands, and Fars of Florence. Of course, all you have to do to check to see what that is just click on kingdom on a kingdom and then see whatever symbol is here. Obviously, that is the attack symbol, and just do that for all those kingdoms. But of course, first we gotta get them all to level 3 before we can even think about doing any of them to level 10. The main reason we do them all to level 3 or 4 or whatever you want to first is because we'll want these tribute chances up, which will help give us more resources over time, and it will also help increase our mana surge chances. So we'll just do that, get the best value out of it, and of course, off camera, we will be getting a lot more gold and start getting all of them up to level 3. One thing to note about Guild is all of our tasks got reset. This happens every single Monday, among many other things. So all of our tasks, we now do all these lower tasks, and we can contribute gold to them if we want, but at the moment, we're still low enough that we don't really want to be contributing gold to the gold yet. As you can see, we did 0. All we're doing are seals and trophies so far. We're not doing any gold yet, but we will in the future. We'll help out this guild, and then we'll get even more tasks from this. But as you can see, if we go over to our mail right now, we actually have a mail of all of our guild tasks that we have gotten rewarded. As you can see, we got all of this for free just from being in this guild. We're kind of freeloading over them for now, which is why we join a very small guild when we first initially start. But as you can see, we contributed 0 gold, yet we still got all of these rewards, like 250 gold, 250 souls, 150 gold keys, 9 treasure maps, so yay, a lot of fun treasure maps to do there, 18 glory keys, 45 gems, and 360 glory. So let's claim all that. Also, any gold that you, or any seals that you didn't claim throughout the week, as well as any gold left over on guild tasks from everyone contributing. It gets distributed evenly, the gold through all the members, and any seals that you didn't claim would also be in this mail if you happen to have gotten it. So we'll claim that. You may also see that I have 2 other things here. This is just from my main account when I bought the DLC on it, but I am obviously not going to claim these, as these are a completely free-to-play account. But these are only here because whenever you make a new account, since it was done on my Steam account where I already bought these, it appeared here. But we're not going to claim them because we're going 100% free to play. So before I go show a team, or actually let me do 2 more things first. Events. Of course, every single week the event does switch over. It tells you right on the top of these when the actually resets. Previous week was Darkstone and Human Boost, now on Fae and Divinian Fields. This won't really help us too much this week, as we don't really have any particularly good Fae or Divinian Fields. But something that is very useful that we will be fully utilizing to the best of our ability, and everyone definitely should this week, is the double trait stones. Whenever you use a Snow Guardian in PvP, and obviously win, because you only get trait stones when you win, you receive an extra trait stone per victory. This is going to be very useful for starting to accumulate some of our extra trait stones, because we have pretty much no trait stones at all at the moment. Trait stones are used to get traits on your troops, which I haven't really explained yet, but we really need to get as many as we can, as we will be needing them a lot later on to be able to trait all of our troops. And also, as usual, we can do a certain objective and start getting these. They did end up reducing the cost to be able to get up to these, so it should be easier for newer players and more casual players to be able to get some of the better rewards. This used to cost $250 the previous week, $500 and $1,000, and he basically cut all of them down in half. Tacet's pretty weak and we won't really be needing him, but I definitely want to try targeting down those gems, as those will be very useful, as we'll need to save them for the 500 gem armors. But whenever we kill monsters or dragons in Explore or PvP, we will be getting a point towards the event gems, which we'll just be able to accumulate all of these throughout the week, hopefully, or at least up to about 100 or 250 we'll likely be able to get up to. And, of course, with every single event change, there are now the shop items. And there is the Snow Guardian that was going to be giving us the 2 times as many trait stones this week. He also has a 25% bonus because he is a Fae, and he's a Fae construct. I'm actually going to be utilizing that into a team that literally anyone can build, even if you're like a level 5 or something. So, let's go buy him. The other pack I don't really think I'll need. It is pretty strong earlier on in the game, and I'll probably buy one. Actually, yeah, let's just buy the other one. I won't be showing anything in this video with it, but hey, we might as well get it. And as you can see, we're getting all these resources, and now let's get one of these. Maybe I'll find a team for it later, so we'll definitely get one of them. And of course, we get all of the resources shown there. And let's now, before I show the team, go and open up all of our keys. We have quite a few keys from the guild and from other things, and this is a kind of week that I do want to use my event keys. We're going to try for a Queen Mab, maybe a Borealis, something like that. So let's see what we get from these 3 event keys. Come on, please. Something good. Something good. Oh, how useless. A Runic. Oh, come on. Let's see what the next one is. Really? It's going to troll me with 3 Runics. And a Tessarian. 2 useless trait stones and the most useless epic. So that was a pretty bad payout there, but we'll get some more event keys later this week from the guild, so at least we'll have a couple more chances. But that almost couldn't have been a worse drop from that. But that's this useless strip. You just create some gems of the selected mana color, then gives all allies 3 magic, and that can only be cast 1. The Mad Prophet we got earlier as a common is pretty much better than Tessarian, so because the Mad Prophet does 5 magic to all allies. So yeah, Tessarian is basically useless to us. One thing to note is that we should not disenchant our troops, though. There is an ability that if you have spirit copies, you can disenchant them for souls. You never, ever, 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 ever want to do that. What you want to do instead is ascend your troops. For example, we're going to be using one of these right here, our Guardians here. So let's start show it on a Justice. What we want to do with this is not disenchant them. You never want to do that. It's not worth it. You just want to do Arena or just put a soul farming troop in your team like Valkyrie or White or just anything that gives souls. Never actually disenchant. It's not good any value. It's not worth the value of how many souls you get. And later on in the game, it'll really punish you if you start mass disenchanting when you first start out. But what we'll want to do here is just use the Ascension instead. This, as you can see, will give us some bonus stats. This also allows us to level them higher. A common would normally only be able to go up to level 15, but now that it's a rare, we'll be able to level up to 16. And don't worry about ascending. All the level up costs and all of the trait stones costs are exactly the same regardless of what their ascension is, so it doesn't matter when you ascend them. So let's go now over to the Guardian team, because we will be putting our Snow Guardian into here. Let's just go over to Glacial Peak. Should be pretty easy to see it there. There we go. And let's get that in. We'll replace out the loyalty, and let's put it in first slot and level it all the way up, as this will be the main troop of our team right here. So let's get that level. And I think I might even level up to Justice with whatever souls we may have left. Though, if I do, it will deplete pretty much the rest of our souls. As far as trait stones, I won't really need to do that yet. That'll be a little bit of a waste just to use it on him. But now we have a pretty tanky troop, and he does have that Fate bonus, so he'll be pretty good for us. Actually, I don't think I'm going to level the Justice. I'll just keep these all at level 1 for now. Maybe I could do them up to level 5 just so they don't die. But I think level 1 for now would be sufficient. Humility, I have it on double yellow mainly so we can get our humility up and just give us some random stats. So yeah, let's just get into this then. Into the key opening. Let me go through all these keys real quick. Let's see. So, Alchemist, yes. This we'll need with our Hellcat. Alchemist is really, really good, especially if you can find a Hellcat Hellcat is a little bit hard to get because he is an epic, but we were lucky enough to get him as a drop on stream last Saturday or Sunday, whenever it was. But he is something we really needed. He also can give you quite a bit of gold because you transform all of a selected color to yellow, and then he gives you a bunch of gold. So really good. Cockroaches is also pretty good. It entangles, meaning they can't use their attack, and then creates a bunch of brown, boosted by how much mana is drained, and it does use brown on itself, so it's pretty good at entangle and drain spamming, and it is a full drain. Oh, yes. We finally got it. Quite possibly the most overpowered troop in early game that is easily obtainable. We have finally gotten a ranger. I'll have to do like a whole video on itself on this. But it deals 5 damage to an enemy and then deal 8 damage randomly split among all enemies. That isn't that much damage, but it has a boost ratio based on how many enemies are alive. So if they have 4 enemies on the enemy team, which they should, there's no way that would never happen. Maybe you accidentally kill one with skulls. There'll be about 3 or 4 when you first cast this. That is 20 extra damage if there's 4 enemies. So definitely very, very, very powerful. You can put an alchemist with it to feed it yellow. We even got an alchemist right there, so we could just use that and feed it yellow if we wanted to. There are so many good uses for ranger currently in the game with how overpowered it is. If you get a ranger in this early in the game, you need to put in your team. It is just insane, and we'll be doing that later. Savage Hunter won't really need it that much. He just deals damage to a random troop. Triple if they're already 100 mark, and then 100 mark them. He's pretty inconsistent, and you won't really need him. Warlock is a pretty bad troop on base value. What makes him really decent is the fact that he has Necromancy on his first trait. Necromancy will give us 50% bonus souls in battle. And if we use something that can gain souls, like a Valkyrie, a White, Banshee, or just anything really, he'll be able to increase that by 50% if we have that first trait. But I won't be doing that for now. 2 Innkeepers, he's basically useless. He's basically like a Luther, except he minuses 1 magic from all of your allies, so don't need him. Snow Sprite, we kind of could use. It does a little bit of damage and it freezes an enemy. Would kind of be okay to use with our, what's it called? Our Snow Guardian this week. Hey, they both have snow in it. Scale Guard is fairly decent earlier on in the game. It deals damage to an enemy, double if they're poisoned, and then poisons them. It's mainly good if you can get it fully traded, though, which gives it Empowered, which you can cast from the very first turn. And he's pretty good at one-shotting, but I don't think we'll really be using him. And we get a bit of other resources, so let's just see what we get from the rest of the keys, and then we'll do all the glory keys that we have. Deckhand, we might be able to find a use for him. Creates 5 purple, and then transforms all purple to blue gems, and since he uses blue, he'll be able to get some of that mana out. Wolf Knight, he is a pretty good true damager. He's actually really good earlier on in the game as well. If you wanted to build a true damage build, Wolf Knight is definitely something you would want to put in it. Deals 2 true damage to an enemy, and then 6 additional 1 if the enemy is wounded. And that 6 is static. The deal true damage is what's based on magic. So he's always going to be doing that 6 extra damage if they are wounded. Wounded just means if they have any HP loss on them. Armored Boar is also pretty good earlier on in the game, though I would, in most instances, stick with a Goblin. Because Goblin is more versatile as you go later into the game. But it destroys a row, deals some damage to the first enemy, and that's boosted by every single skull destroyed at a 3x ratio. So technically, for every single skull you destroy, you're doing 4 damage, because destroying a skull also does 1 damage. So that plus the boost ratio is 4 damage per skull that it destroys with the row destroyed. And that's all of them from there. We have less troops to go over since we're starting to accumulate more. Cyclops is good if you can get a really good attack buffer with it. It deals some damage to the first enemy, and then that's boosted by his attack. You mainly only use it if you can get a good attack buffer. Sabertooth Lion isn't that bad earlier on in the game. It deals a little bit of damage, but it gains 5 magic every single time it gets a kill. So if you had some kind of team where you want to go for last hitting and you need some kind of last hitting troop, Sabertooth Lion's the way to go because you'll be able to get that 5 magic buff. Normally you only want to put 1 last hitting troop per team, and most teams don't even need a last hitting troop, and you can normally go without one. But if you wanted one, it would be decent to have. And that's it. No new ones from there. And I believe we have some glory keys. Let me just double check any of our other keys. Nope, we don't have any other keys right now. So let's just open our 22 glory and hope that we get an epic or legendary that's actually decent. So, Keg Hammer. It is an epic. Though it is not decent. It deals damage to an enemy and reduces their magic by 5. And it does double if they are a giant. Though I think next event week will be a bonus to giants. So maybe we'll be able to use Keg Hammer next week. But as far as normally just getting him up on a regular basis, no, Keg Hammer isn't that viable in many teams. Rhinax is also pretty useless. You'll never need it. It just deals damage to an enemy, deals 1 to adjacent enemies. Most things from Broken Spire are pretty useless because it's the first kingdom in the game. They're supposed to be weak because, or else it would be too hard on newer players trying to go through. So now let's finally go over this one team. So let's go head into PvP. Let's just do our, oh wow, we can't take that on. Let's just take this 2 trophy here, and not our Dragon's team. Let's do it with this Guardian's team and see if we can make this Snow Guardian do work. One of the reasons why I didn't set this to double blue and why I'm setting it to double yellow, we can actually set it to double yellow or double red, wouldn't really matter too much. But the main reason I'm not setting it to a double blue is if we do that, we'll want to take more blues and the AI will want to take more blues. And I do not want to take too many blues off the board, because the less blues that are on the board, the less chance we'll have that those 10 blue gems can get an extra turn. And we're better off just trying to get a 5 times or an extra turn off of the blues that we spawn than actually taking them. But I will take it that in that instance just so we can get the red off there. He does have that overpowered ranger, so we are going to need to pay attention to that. I can take him out one shot with our guardian though, so, or our snow guardian. I mean, they're all guardian. Which guardian do I mean? I mean the snow guardian. So let's just take our reds. Red surge would be amazing right now. I'm pretty sure we won't be able to get it though. I might just go for these yellows since there's a very good chance we will not get that surge. Let's just go yellow, because I think our surge chances right now are only at about 20%. But leveling up all the kingdoms will help that quite a bit, which is one of the reasons why we need to level up all of our kingdoms right now, because that will gradually make our surge chance go up whenever we take 3 peers. Okay, so let's go get our nature guardian. Wow, I'm going to call him everything other than what his actual name is. Snow Guardian up a bit. So now we'll be able to take out the Ranger. We are doing a lot of damage with this, especially because we're getting that 25% bonus this week from the Fae. Let's just take this skull for free. So let's throw this out. 16 damage to an enemy, boosted by all frozen enemies. He doesn't have any frozen. And then he creates 10 whenever we get a kill. So now this is why I didn't want to set my banner to blue, because now since we didn't take as many blue, we just got a 5 times right there, which gave us 10 mana. Because all surges give twice as much on however many you take. So there we go. That's basically why we didn't set our banner to the double blue. So right here, we're going to use this one first. Keep using on skulls. We want to get as many skulls as we possibly can. Keep damaging it down. I did it on the Justice first because that gave us an attack buff. Though I don't even think we needed that attack buff to be able to take it out. And let's just take that extra turn for a little bit of gold. Don't really need it, but let's just now end it out. And that is match. So even if you don't have anything, you can easily get these 3 guardians just from opening about 20 to 30 guild chests, which you just get from seals, which you can easily do in about a day or 2. So yeah, regardless of how early on you are in the game, of course on the main video today I end up showing what the late game build would be, but if you're earlier on in the game, you don't have really any option. This is basically what you would build with the Snow Guardian in order to utilize the 2 event or the 2 trait stones that we'll get at the end of every single battle. As you can see right there, minor earth 2 times. So we just got 2 browns from completing this battle, and we'll want to complete every single battle this week using the exact team that we just used, the Snow Guardian, Humility, Courage, Justice team, because we want to get as many of those trait stones as we possibly can. And with this early on in the game, with something like 16 damage, this should be enough to pretty much one-shot most of the teams that we're coming across. So that will be very, very, very useful for us. But anyways, that will wrap it up for this video. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Best of luck this week with the event, and have a wonderful day.